What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Speakeasy. Listen, I have a very special guest, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us closer. My guy, my family, Dae Stephens, aka Day Dizzle the Don, whatever you want to call him. My brother is here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man.
Yo,
Happy
welcome
to be here,
back. Well, welcome here. This is your first time here.
bro. First time.
Wait.
First time, bro.
It's not your first time in this room. It's not your first time being in this room having conversations.
Oh, not at all.
Because we do this all the time.
Exactly.
But the intention of the Speakeasy is that we have conversations that we have all the time, just in front of the people, and so they can maybe join in on the conversation.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And like I said, I'm elated to be here, bro.
Dude,
Elated to be here, man.
dude, it's been a long time coming. We are in technically season 2 of the Speakeasy, and I just wanted to bring more authentic conversation. One of the things that we intend to do with the Speakeasy is to really help people create a better relationship with themselves and others, and specifically when it comes to like relationships with their counterparts, with their brothers, their sisters, their friends. And we've had a great relationship, but it's actually hasn't been that long.
No, not at all.
It hasn't been that long, but it's grown so much over the years, and I felt like I've gotten the opportunity to see you in multiple stages of life.
Oof. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the things that I resonated the most with Dae is like you still living in Durham now, right? But you just came back from Dallas. We'll talk about all that. But there was, from what I've seen, like a level of separation that had to happen from what you were used to in order to become who you are today.
Right. Yeah.
And that for me was incredible to watch. And as a brother, it's like, yeah, like I can do the mentor thing, I could do the deep conversation thing and help you through it, but a lot of that was your choices.
Yeah.
And getting to know you, like I realized you were kind of doing that all along in different aspects of your life.
Yeah.
And so before we kind of dive into all the deep things, maybe tell like our Speakeasy family about you, about your history, how you grew up.
Yeah, bro. Would love to, man.
Yeah.
So as you said, product of Durham, North Carolina.
Bull
City, stand up, man. But definitely a product of my environment. Youngest of 3 boys. My mom was 21. She had 3 kids. And the neighborhood I grew up in, man, it was everything and in between, bro, from, drugs, gun violence, all the way up to, just murders, the whole 9. So grew up navigating that whole deal. Being the youngest of 3 boys, it was tough, bro. It was tough, man, because a lot of times, your word didn't really mean nothing because you was the youngest in the house, and it was like, hey, we got this. Be quiet. You don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So navigating that, you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate it because it made me a lot tougher, bro. But went through a lot of hardships in life, man. Faced a little bit of, I'll say a step above destitution, you know what I'm saying? We'll be living with friends and family.
Yeah, been there.
And one time we lived in a homeless shelter, so it was tough growing up, man. Bro, that was kind of my upbringing. Yeah. But things kind of took a turn, high schoolish. Moved in with my grandmother, and around this time I started taking athletics a little bit more seriously. Yeah. So in my school, I was always a good student. I was always smart, but when you go through stuff at home, you don't quite get the focus in school. So started taking, athletics and academics a little bit more seriously, and moved in with my grandmother, and everything kind of propelled upward. Yeah. From there, got into football, started busting my tail in the classroom and on the field. Was able and fortunate enough, by the grace of God, to get some football offers. Used that to get me out of Durham, Didn't go far.
Yeah,
But went
out of there 20 minutes. Yeah, 25 minutes.
Didn't go far, but committed to NC State.
Yeah.
Played football there for 2 years. Met some fantastic people I still talk to this day. Taught me a lot about myself, and that's the first time I kind of dabbled into faith on my own. And eventually transferred from there over to North Carolina Central, Eagle Pride, Amplified, all the good things. But yeah, that's where I am. And then great 6 years at Central, and sent me off to Dallas, and now I'm back. So, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So walk through a little bit of, going into high school and, the moving in with grandma, starting football for the first time. Why do you feel, what changed?
Yeah.
What changed that you feel like, oh yeah, things just kind of went upward? Like what snapped? It was just like, oh, I just took school more seriously. Was it like, oh, like, nah, I just really love football, and so this is a great thing for me to do? Like, what was it about football in that time of your life that like was a change for you?
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I'll say this, and I don't think I've ever shared this publicly, but around that time of my life, I had like no identity in anything. You know what I'm saying? Because, you kind of a lot of people can kind of find identity in their parents' wealth, or, the things that the money that they have get them, or whatever the case may be. So
or lack thereof, right?
Right, the lack thereof. I didn't have really an identity in anything. And I remember at the time, it was 2014, I was playing with some like 2 top 10 recruits in the nation on my team, Dante Williams and Travion Thompson. And I remember going to their signing day, and this is my sophomore year. This is the year I moved with my grandmother, and I remember looking and saying like, yo, I want to be able to sign and go to Clemson. I want to be able to sign and go to West Virginia. And I looked myself in the mirror that day, and I was like, yeah, you don't deserve an offer to go play football anywhere. What have you done? And literally that summer, and my grandmother, when I moved in with her, I will mention this. When I moved in with my grandmother, it provided like a structure and a sense of, like, she showed me she cared. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that my mom didn't, but she was so busy doing a lot of stuff that really didn't get the attention that I really cared to get. But my grandmother, she was making me breakfast every morning, making sure I made my bed.
Yeah.
She was making sure I cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the house, spring cleaning with my grandmother, doing all the things. And it just made me just feel appreciated. You know what I mean? So through that kind of fueled me to, go out and really work to get the offers that I wanted to do. So after I told myself, like, I want to be able to sign a Clemson or a P5 school, I literally every Saturday morning, I would go to Hillside Park, which was right up the road from my grandmother's house, and I would do my little footwork drills, and then I would ride my bike down to North Carolina Central, and run my playbook on both sides. I play wide receiver, so I go run my routes on both sides of the field, and I did it every Saturday. And school, I kind of just went into school, and I was always quiet. Yeah. But I was like, I'm funny, I got a big personality, but I kind of let the funny stuff and the personality like take a back seat, and I was like, nah, I got to focus on this work so I can, be all right when I'm gonna take off for this football stuff. Yeah. So, I did that every Saturday, and literally, I did that in the sophomore year, went into my junior year. Went from having 1 catch on the season and 1 touchdown. My only catch was a touchdown my sophomore year. To no, it's crazy. To leading the team my junior in every major like receiving category. Wow. Got my first offer to James Madison. Wow. And it just went from there, bro. So definitely my grandmother, like her, I don't know, her attention to detail, her just showing me that she cared. Her just showing me that like, nah, I see you, and I'm gonna make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my mom, she would do the same, but it felt less intentional. But
I think one of the key things that like I'm pulling from what you're even sharing is like one it was the stability of grandma. It was I'm living in this one place, like this grandma is attentive to me. It's not saying mom didn't care to be attentive, but she was trying to bust her tail to make ends meet and make it happen. Yeah. Whereas like grandma was paying attention to you, giving you what you needed, and there was some stability there. And then what really set it off, it really sounds like it's like, I was able to find identity in something that I loved.
100%.
Yeah, I was able to see, wait a minute, I see these two guys, which shout out to the two, who are the two guys?
Dante Williams and Travion Thompson.
Do they know that this is huge
They
because
don't.
they should know this. Shout out to them because they were probably two of the first people that made it like seem possible for you to get there.
1,000%. Yeah. Yeah.
And because of that, that set your life on a trajectory that made it better. Even you wouldn't be here without looking at them.
At all. And I think I was so blessed too with my situation when it came to football too, because it was like a shortage at receivers. Mm-hmm. And I played defense varsity in my 9th grade year.
Yeah.
But I was like still on JV. And my sophomore year was a shortage on receivers. They're like, yo, let's get, at the time, everybody used to call me Lil Shaheem. I had to earn my name, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But no, so then I got on varsity my sophomore year. So that was my first, and Hillside produces, Hillside has some dogs. Mm-hmm. So we produced athletes every year, but Dante and Travion was the first ones I was actually like there to see them practice, there to see their work ethic, there to see them in the meeting room. You know what I'm saying? So like really having that like proximity to them is just like, yo, okay, this what you got to do to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then like just kind of seeing that and having that like that vantage point to them, it kind of just let me, just have the insight on what I needed to do to get to.
Do you know what they're doing today?
I do not. I don't.
Whatever they're doing,
yeah,
they should know that they were a huge impact on you. Indeed. They made a huge impact on you. And what's really interesting is like, and I'm sure they, you would know if they were playing in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. And I think so many people, like they'll go through obviously their entire life, playing a sport or doing one thing. And the goal is obviously stardom, is to be the superstar, it's to make it, it's the screaming fans, it's all that. But not knowing how significant them putting in the work in high school meant to you, and you being the man you are today. And you're not playing in the NFL right now,
not at all.
But you are making money. You got a crib, like you're doing extremely well for yourself. And part of you becoming had to do with just seeing them be who they were, and do their job, and. I find it so sad that some people don't realize, this is part of the reason why I wanted to start a podcast like this, is because some people don't realize how impactful they are to other people.
Yeah.
They probably would never know. Look at you today and understand that the fruit of your life is from seeds they've planted.
Right. Yeah. 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 And I think it's a testament to just to being able to like be attentive to like, yourself and kind of noticing like what you want for your life, because like some people that I play high school ball with seen it as well, but they didn't really, they didn't know. Well, I ain't even gonna try to speak for them, but like they may have saw it, but it didn't motivate them in the way that it motivated me. You know what I mean? So, but no, like I promise you, like if I ever see Travion or Dante around, like I would definitely, just give them the flowers, bro. Like, and just be like, bro, I am here because I saw you, kind of, do the work you had to do to get you to where you wanted to go. And it motivated me in a way that where I was just like, yeah, like I'm gonna do the same. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
And this is why like I'm a huge advocate in for people understanding that you can't, like this life thing is not about you doing it yourself. It's not about figuring it out yourself. It's not about you. Oh, I made it on my. Nah, you didn't make it on your own. Yeah. There was somebody who you looked at that made it seem possible for you.
Yeah.
That like fueled your faith. That made you want to go after it. And maybe what you end up going after wasn't the end result, but it was a stepping stone to get you to where you are today. Yeah. Right? Like. People have to understand, like, this thing is a journey that takes other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, to and I don't want to like keep talking about these two guys that you saw too long, but there's they probably just don't know, and will probably, and not, I won't talk about them specifically because I don't know them, but guys like that could sometimes go through high school, then go to college, play football, not make it to the league or whatever, and get depressed and feel like it was all for nothing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not realize that there were if it was you, you weren't the only one.
Yeah. Right.
If it happened to you, you weren't the only, and not
Yeah.
realizing how many lives they changed in the process.
Yeah.
That really all of our life is process.
The whole time.
God is using us in process more than he's using us in destination.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's where all the power happens. Like that's where all the impact happens. It's while you're growing.
Yeah.
And while you're developing and while you're getting to the next level, you know who you're inspiring. And I think that is just phenomenal because like our relationship started off like mentor, mentee.
Yeah.
And I've always been this way, that like I realize that my part is one part.
Yeah.
And having conversations like this just goes to show, like the Bible says, one man plants, another waters, but God causes the increase.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're just parts of your story.
Yeah.
And these guys were a significant part that helped bring identity to you, that would lead you to what God actually, how God actually wanted you to see yourself later on in life, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I agree, bro. And I think I know we're not going to spend too much time on it, man, but like I said, I just want to give them their flowers, bro.
Yeah.
Because I think oftentimes, to your point about people feeling like the things they do, it goes to waste when they don't make it to the big league and make it to like the glitz and the glamours. But it's like, no, bro, like God is so intentional and so strategic. He may have set that whole thing up for it to go that way all along. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I think a lot of people just think it's all about like, I'm doing this so I can receive. It's just like, nah, bro, what if the whole time God want you to do so somebody else can receive? You know what I mean? And it's just about, and I just think it's just about like, just being in tune to like, why you're doing what you do and understanding that it's not just about you, it's bigger than you. So
if you could say anything to them on behalf of young Dae, what would you say?
Oh man, I'm gonna look in the camera and say this. Young Dae would say, Travion Dante, you truly inspired me to want great things in life. You showed me what it means to work hard. You showed me what it means to have a work ethic. You showed me what it means to have attention to detail. And I truly I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate you. And may God bless you wherever you may be, brothers, wherever you may be. But
yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So college happens.
Yeah. Jesus. yeah, it did.
You get your offer.
Yeah.
And you go to state. Okay. Tell me, like, what was that season of your life like?
Before I go into my season at NC State,
please,
I'll start by like when I remember, I'm gonna just tell you a story when I got my first offer.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you the story about when I committed. So my first offer, I remember I was in school, James Madison University come to the school and I was like, hey, we want Deshaun. We want to talk to him. And I'm like, okay, all right, what is this? And I go in there and the coach was asking me like, yeah, hey, like, do you drink? Do you smoke? You ask me all these questions. And I'm like, nah, I don't do any of that stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'll be reaching out soon. And I'm thinking soon is like, maybe next week, maybe next month. So I get home after practice. He calls me. And it's Coach Withers. He was like, hey, Deshaun, we just want to just call and let you know we want to give you your first collegiate full-ride scholarship. And I remember I was living on Atlantic Street, not too far from Hillside. I broke down crying. Because all I knew when I heard full ride, I meant, oh, you don't got to pay for nothing. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, if they didn't say full ride or whatever the case may be, we ain't got the money to pay for nothing. So I don't know how this is going to transpire. So I just remember like just crying. And my mom was at work, working a double, man. She was always trying to do what she had to do. And I ran into the living room. My little cousin Jamal was asleep on the couch. And I was like, bro, I'm crying. I said, hey, bro, we good. He was like, what you mean? I said, bro, I just got my first offer, bro. And he jumped up. You know, I'm on the phone with the coach trying to be cool still, and we hung up the phone, man, and we just rejoiced, man, because he was the one who was like there seeing me waking up every Saturday, riding my bike to Hillside, to Central, to do all the stuff. So it was cool to like have him with me when I got my first offer. Then on to, so I finished my high school career about 20, 25 hours. I had a lot of offers, but ended up going to NC State, like you said. No, it's like, yeah, man. Yeah. No, man, look, all glory to God, man. Praise him. But yeah, so I ended up committing to NC State. But this day in particular just kind of showed me the reality of just like life in the world. I remember it was sometime in June, and I was actually homeless, bro, the day I committed to NC State. I was yeah, bro. I remember Coach King, he came and got me, and we went up to NC State, and they pulled me out the room, and it was like, yeah, bro, Coach Doran want to holler at you. And I go up there and may get a little emotional, man, because it's just it was the first time where I thought, like, you know, because something was gonna happen, my reality was gonna change, and it's just like, nah, life don't work like that. So Coach King, he came and got me. We went up to NC State. Coach Doran bring me to his office, and he was like, yeah, man, we want to give you the full ride offer here to NC State. And I was on the premises, and I told Coach King, he was like, bro, we might want to commit. I committed that day, and I just remember I had the ride back to Durham, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you home, and I'm just in the back like, I ain't got no crib right now, bro. Like, we homeless, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? My brothers, they stayed with my grandmother at the time, my mom as well, and I just had all I had was a little book bag at the time, and I remember I was just like, I was coming down back 40 from Raleigh, and I was just like, yo, bro, like, how is it that I just committed to a Power 5 school? They just gave me all this praise, all this glory, all this stuff, and I'm finna go back to Durham, and I don't even have nowhere to stay. And that was the first time where I realized, like, yo, because good things happen to you, like, it's still work to be done. Like, it's so much more to do when you get that breakthrough, if you will. And yeah, man, it definitely was a reality check for me, man. But I got back, and luckily I had a friend, Dante, still my brother to this day. He was gracious enough to open his doors up to me. Went over to Dante place, man, and yeah, that's kind of how that went. But it was a time, man. It was a time. It really was, because it was just like, that's real crazy.
Yeah.
Real crazy. But so NC State, yeah, bro, let's start off by saying this. I had a 10-day summer when I committed, because
10-day summer.
Yeah, I had a 10-day summer, bro. I graduated June 9th, and they literally said, yeah, you have to be on campus June 19th for summer one session. Went there. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I hated it. I really did. I hated it a lot. But I got there. Did what every college freshman do. Did the best they can through fall camp and all the things, and ended up redshirting by the grace of God, because I think I really needed it. But redshirted there. Was a little bitter. My redshirt year. Yeah. Not going to be honest.
You know, Chapin life. You know, every freshman who gets redshirted got a little bit of attitude, especially if they feel like they're talented. But you were talented.
No, yeah,
fair enough.
But it's like, yeah, but it's a whole nother beast of guys out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I redshirted, and I was real bitter. I must admit, I was real bitter, and I went about a lot of things the wrong way while I was at NC State. Just from a energy standpoint, like I had like bad energy. Just been a young dude who thought it was good enough to play, and but through that, I made my own life outside of football very miserable, because I don't think you can go into your place of work, because that's what it is. It's a job.
It's a job.
You can't go to work miserable, moping, and doing all this stuff, and think like when you punch out off the clock, everything is just gonna be back to normal. You know what I mean? Everything gonna be good at the house. It's a carryover process. You know what I'm saying? So, was real miserable at NC State, bro. But had a chaplain by the name of Pastor Albert.
Okay.
And he used to give us little devotionals. He used to send us little voice messages every morning, and that helped me through my freshman year.
Wow.
And then I just started to enjoy it a little bit more my redshirt freshman year. Redshirt freshman year is when I decided that I was going to transfer. I was like, I'm gonna transfer at the end of the season. And but before that, this is when I like on my own decided to give like my relationship with Jesus Christ a go. I remember I opened up the Bible and I like pulled out all the cliches, Philippians 4:13, all the heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote them on the index card and I like, taped them to my wall before I went out my door every morning, and I like just read them to myself. Every morning. And then no matter what happened that day, like I just like, we're gonna remain positive. That scripture you read, the eyes of the Lord watch over those who do right. His ears are open to their prayers. Like, all right, so let's do right by these people. Let's do right by this opportunity. Let's do right by whatever. And then I got a little bit more positive outlook on my time there. It was fun, man. I got to travel. My first time on a plane was because of football. Went to Shreveport, Louisiana. Ooh. Yeah, wasn't nothing cool about it, but at the time, O.J. Simpson on FX was a big deal, and Johnny Cochran, was a big deal in that. But he was from there. That's the only cool thing I got about Shreveport. That's really it. But
the fact that you even know that, it's like, what are we talking about right now?
But yeah, that's my first time on a plane, man. And NC State, it was definitely a time, man. And and then also just a testament to like, always treat people well, always treat people how you want to be treated. If I go up there to this day, those people still embrace me, still show me love, still, because I knew, I'm like, yo, people are more important than like how you feel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just told myself that, we're gonna treat these people right. And every time I go up there now, man, it's just love. And but NC State was a time, and I decided to transfer to North Carolina Central. But we can get into that.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the questions I did have, right, like, and I genuinely wonder this, right, like, like now we're leaning into conversation that we probably haven't necessarily had yet.
Okay.
You're at NC State. You're about to go to Centrals, right? You're still in the same general vicinity as what you grew up when in the beginning of the conversation, murder, drugs, like so. How are you separating yourself from that life while building this one?
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna be completely honest. It wasn't much separation at all, bro, to be honest with you. Because so when I redshirted, I used to drive to Durham every weekend, literally every weekend. And at the time, I was very much doing the stuff that was going on in my environment. I had guns, playing college football. Ain't nobody looking for me. You know what I'm saying? But I had a gun or two, you know what I'm saying? And
Second Amendment,
Yeah, Second Amendment. Oh, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't much separation, but somehow I did know how to navigate. Like, all right, yo, I'm gonna be at the crib. I'm gonna come see everybody. But Saturday or whatever time I gave myself to get back to Raleigh and focus on football, like I was able to just dip out and come back and lock in. But what I will say that helped me out was that was my first time being around other guys who came from like different backgrounds than I did. So I would like kind of hang out with those guys when I was in Raleigh, or I would even bring them to Durham sometime if we want to just hang out or whatever the case may be. But I think my teammates helped me a lot, kind of help me out a lot to, kind of differentiate the two. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, you from Durham, this is your environment, but we play college ball. This is what we're gonna be doing. So I think my teammates had a huge part of in that, you know what I'm saying? And I think if it wasn't for them, I probably would have been full-fledged in my Durhamness, if you will.
So let's explain. What do you mean by Durhamness?
So Durham is it's a great city.
Yeah,
it's a great city, but Bull City, it's a great city, but just like anywhere else in America, like it gets real. Like it drive-bys, like fighting, stabbing, or whatever the case may be. And I literally was living like in the middle of it, like 114, like, and I know people might not know what I'm talking about, but 114 South Side is the corner store. I literally lived right next door to it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I was like going home and I'm like in the middle of it. Like people still on the block, stuff still going on, grandma house still getting shot at. Like whole nine, I was there. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by like Durhamness. It's just like everything that like your specific neighborhood entailed. Whether and then you had some people who was out by South Point Mall living good. You know what I'm saying? But for me, that wasn't the case for me.
Now tell me. So you're saying. So my question to you then is, was it easy to live almost two lives?
Wow.
Or did it feel like the same?
No. It was definitely difficult. It was definitely difficult. But like I said, my friends, my teammates helped me. They made it a tad bit easy, but it was extremely hard because I remember it would be times where stuff would happen on campus, and at Durham a flare up a little bit, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold.
Like I gotta get back to
yeah, like hey, bro, you on a college campus, man. You can't be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it was extremely difficult. I will say it was extremely difficult if you take my teammates out of the equation, because like I'm a firm believer in like what you listen to, what you think about, like what you put into your body, like it affects you. And I was around so much stuff that it was affecting me, like, and I would just little stuff that come out like like in communication and all this stuff that like it was definitely because I was in the environments I was in when I came back to Durham. So but no, it was definitely difficult, bro. It wasn't easy at all.
Now I know you're still here to a certain degree, right? I mean, well, you do live in Durham.
Yeah, I do.
You live in Durham to this day.
Right.
But from knowing you, I know there is a distinction between who you are today and what in your surroundings today versus kind of what you just said your life was then.
Yeah.
What changed?
Oh, I became a believer in Jesus Christ, bro, on my own. That's what it was, bro. That's what it was. And then a little bit about, my salvation. So when I transferred from NC State, like I said, I was in a dark place. And I had an old friend at the time who was like, yo, come to church with me. And I used to be like, no, I'm cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all right. But
do I know said old friend?
I'm sorry?
Do I know the old friend?
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, my old friend.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. That old friend. Gotcha.
Yeah, that old friend.
Okay.
So, yeah, the old friend.
So this is the time you're at North Carolina Central.
I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah,
I just transferred from North Carolina State to North Carolina Central.
Now, what was that the same year we met?
Yes, 2018.
That was your first year?
Yeah. I started at North Carolina Central 2018 spring. Yep. Yeah.
2018 spring. So you played the 2018 year. Okay.
Yeah, and I met you, and I got baptized and saved February 20th of 2019. Yeah. Quick turnaround. Yeah. I'm telling you, it was when my salvation was the thing that did it.
Dude, what's really interesting is like you spent those 2 years at State, and you from the beginning, from freshman and the freshman year, you said you wanted to transfer, and then why didn't you transfer sophomore year again?
I just started like finding joy, like with my teammates.
Right. Yeah. And so then you transfer to North Carolina Central.
Yep.
And then almost immediately there's a shift that happens.
Yeah. I think it was just the new environment, like new people, and I will say there's no shade to PWIs.
Yeah.
But HBCUs embrace their people so much. If you say you want to do something, it's like, okay, well, go holler at X, Y, and they'll push you into it. Any leadership quality they see within you, they're going to like speak life into that. Like, so when I transferred and I had a new environment, I had people who really was like, hey, I see X, Y, and Z in you. Or I think, if you want to do mass communications, I'm going to send you over to the news station. Like people who really like was, paid attention to you and care about you outside of like athletics. You know what I'm saying? So, so I transferred and yeah, almost immediately, bro, I met you at church. But I will say the thing that made me say yes to my old friend was my aunt Tequila had passed away. She was in a senseless shooting in Durham. There's an example of what I'm talking about with Durham, but like my aunt passed away. It crushed me. And this happened. And I was devastated. And Chauncey was still like,
There you go. It's all good.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, bro, come to church. And I was like, all right, cool. And I did it, and I came, and I just felt the Holy Spirit all over me, bro. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna keep coming to church. Kept coming to church, and
Now,
yeah.
let's make this a real conversation.
Let's do it.
Because you were fighting coming to church.
Oh, absolutely.
You were fighting.
Yeah.
Which made me kind of think like, which hearing your full story is really interesting because, you were kind of on your own track to like build a relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you were fighting against coming to church.
I was.
Why?
I think the enemy was just like making me.
You don't gotta say everything. I know some of the reasons a little crazy.
Yeah, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about all of them. Anthony, stop, man, stop.
Yeah.
No, so the enemy was really like making me believe that like me being alone, I'm on you got it. You don't really need community and all that stuff, which is buffoonery now that I'm thinking back on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I was just like, yeah, I don't need it. I got my little note cards. I got my Bible app. And I wasn't connected to a church neither.
Yeah.
So you can't have a relationship if you ain't got a relationship with his bride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and I was thinking it was working, but it wasn't as effective as it could have been because I wasn't going to church.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the enemy was just making me believe that I didn't need a community. I didn't need a church. I didn't need all these things. But that's what it was that was making me fight the invitations to church. But
and then something rather traumatic happens, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go.
That's how it always is.
It really do be like that. But also, shout out to Chauncey.
Yeah, no facts. Yeah,
who invited you to church
and was persistent.
About it.
Yeah,
like because without Chauncey, we don't meet.
1000%. Yeah, absolutely.
And like I remember having conversations with Chauncey, and him just talking like, yeah, bro, like I'm trying to get Dae to church. Like you know what I'm saying? he say he don't come for this reason.
I won't go on.
and this crazy reason. And I was like, oh dang, that's crazy. Why he think that?
Yeah,
like,
no fact.
No, but and then something happens, and then you finally come, and I think obviously the relationship has changed over the years, but like again, it's one of those moments was maybe our relationship was seasonal. However, God used you in this season to put me in spaces where I can grow.
In a major way. Yeah.
Because literally what's so also crazy, 2018 happens. And bro, 2019, which is 2018.
2018.
When did Chauncey transitioned in 2019 from the team?
2019, yeah.
2019 from the team. It wasn't even that long of him being on the team when you got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was almost like just God using our brother to bring you to where you needed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here you are. Right? Like I just think
glory.
I just think it is incredible how God will use people, and the people you least expect, or maybe people you thought might even be there for a long time, or forever, to get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
And then God will bring more people in your life to sustain you for where you're going.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like perfectly said, bro. Like, like you said, the friendship has changed.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a forever thing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have even mentioned it if I didn't like feel so grateful for it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like
praise God.
Praise God. And it's just like,
love you, Chance.
No, yeah, love you, man, bro. Wherever you may be, love you, brother. But yeah, man, it was a special time in my life, bro.
Yeah.
And thank God for like, giving him the boldness and chutzpah and the audacity to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep asking you, even though you keep telling me no. And you seem very firm on your no. I'm gonna keep asking you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And when you say no, you mean it.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, nah, it's dead. Like, and so in Durham, we use the word ski. Ski means no, not happening. I said, yeah, it's ski, bro. I ain't going. And he used to be like, all right, cool. Then he'll call me after church. Hey, but church was 5, bro. You didn't come. I'm like, bro, I just told you.
Yeah.
And he was persistent, man, and he got me there, bro.
Yeah.
And he got me there, and bro, shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
And from there, our relationship grew significantly. I think we had maybe one conversation at the church. I think after that, it was just like, I mean, then we would have the bros nights with all the guys.
No, remember? Met at the church.
Okay.
And it was a Sunday. He was like, hey, bro, come holler at me later. And you remember I came to your place.
Yeah.
And we talked for like 2 hours, bro. We talked for like 2 hours. And I was like, and that's when I first was like, yo, this Ant dude all right, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And truthfully, bro, like, I'm going to give him his flowers real quick. Ant, bro. You don't understand how much you mean to me, bro. Like, a lot of people may be like, I love you, bro, or whatever the case may be. But when I say I love you dearly, my dog, like, bro, I love you dearly, man, because I know for a fact if God didn't use you to be obedient with New Wave and starting the college ministry, bro, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And if you didn't believe in me and see the leadership qualities that I had, and to, you know, honestly, like, bro, put a whole college ministry on my lap, the way you did because you believed in me so much, bro, I don't know where I would be, bro. I don't know where I would be, man. Just like, you know, you just being so intentional about like your energy, man. And you don't one person in my life I can say, like, I can come to your house and put on a whole facade, like everything okay, you'll see right through it.
Oh yeah, man.
You'll see right through it. Like, oh, Ant-Man. So, bro, I love you, bro. I love you to death, bro. Love you to life is what I like to say, but love you to life, bro. For real, man. And
I appreciate that, man. I think, you know, I loved what I loved about this conversation is because I know our relationship, right? And I know what's happened. I know the trajectory. I know when we met. I know I've seen the massive growth in you as an individual. I've seen you win in all different areas of your life, overcome some really painful things and heartbreaks and betrayals.
Yeah.
I've seen it all happen.
Yeah.
But what I've also seen is like you make some incredible choices for yourself. Like you've always been a phenomenal leader. You've always been a phenomenal brother. What I loved about that time of doing ministry together, it was like, yo, like, nah, like when you got baptized, mad people then started getting baptized. But it was like, yeah, duh, it was Dae. Like Dae's getting baptized. Everybody wants to get baptized now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be consistent. When you spoke, everybody was listening, right? Yeah. Like it was incredible that God gave me an opportunity to platform you in the way that you needed to, and you had the heart and your humility to be elevated in that way, which is special. But what's again incredible about this conversation is that I got to see the full trajectory of your life and realize how many people make up this amazing guy that I'm sitting across from today.
Yeah,
I got a chance to just water it.
Yeah, that's it.
There were seeds planted by mama, grandma, the two, I keep forgetting names, but the guys at Hillside. I mean, daggone Chauncey, like all your friends, your brothers, Jamal, who was shouting with you when you got your first offer, like all these seeds planted. And I got an opportunity to be at a place in your life where I got to water it and see God make the increase.
Yeah.
Right. Like I got to just be part of it. And I love these conversations because one, I do my best to humble myself. Right. Yeah, I'm just a part of the story. But listening to the full trajectory of your story is one of those beautifully humbling places of, wow, God, you were doing this the entire time.
Didn't even know it.
There was a chaplain before I was ever your chaplain. You had a chaplain that was planting seeds, right? Yeah. God is so intentional about putting the people in your life. And my heart and my desire, if anybody's listening to this, whoever's listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
like, take a look at the people who got you where you are today, little and small. Like that little moment of seeing that sign-in day.
Yeah.
You think it's small.
But
I was a young kid just looking at these two dudes signing to these schools. You don't realize that's the moment that I felt like I had identity.
Yeah.
For the freaking first time ever.
Facts.
And because you don't take a look at that moment and with the serious lens that you should look at it with, those guys will never know.
Yeah, never.
They'll never know how God used them and that they're able to be used.
Yeah.
And that there's so much more significance in what they did than just their stats.
Yeah.
Or whatever they were thinking that they were doing in that season. And like I think I'm just really grateful for this conversation, man, because God is like extremely intentional, man.
Oof.
And
Up there playing chess.
Bro.
For real.
Bro.
Don't even know nothing about no checkers.
Bro.
No, for real. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Because had you been at North Carolina Central earlier, who knows what would have been, what would have been like, right? Like, and then the relationship that you had to have, you developed with Chauncey in that 2018 season, and then new coach, new staff, everybody comes in.
Yeah.
He gone. This is your because I remember us having the conversation and you saying, like, bro, like part of the reasons me and Chauncey were having a conversation. That's why I transferred.
No, he was 75-80% of the reason why I went to Central. I was like, yo, you were my high school quarterback. I'm coming.
And you thought that.
Yeah.
And God would use people to make you think a certain way just to get you where he wants you to go.
Yeah. That's a word, Ant. If I had a Twitter, I would tweet that. I really would, bro. That's Jesus Christ.
Like,
yeah.
There are so many things I thought over the years was right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to look like this. I'm here because of this person.
Yeah.
And when I tell you God will make a switch in a minute, but aren't you grateful it didn't go like you thought it would?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I wouldn't have it any other way, bro. Dead serious. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I can honestly sit here and look at you in your eye and say, bro, I regret nothing at all. Nothing at all. And even I just remember too, man, the enemy was trying to like make me feel crazy for transferring to Central. Mm-hmm. Because for those who don't know much about the NCAA and the football world, so you got FBS and FCS. You got the Power Five is what the FBS schools are called. In a sense, people will look at you like, yo, if you playing P5 or FBS, like, you that dude, like, yada, yada. And rightfully so. Okay, cool. Yeah. But I cared nothing about that. Mm-hmm. I said, bro, no, I think it's an opportunity for me to grow off the field and set me up for my life, outside of football. I can't play football forever. Yeah. And but I still was bold enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to Central. Mm-hmm. and I did it. Didn't really care about anything else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, bro.
And then you went there, which most people would have thought it was crazy, but it was exactly what you needed for God to put you where you needed to be.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of people just, I'm just a firm believer in like, yo, like, how you finna tell me how to do something you ain't never did? Right. That don't even make sense. That don't make like not nan piece of sense. So I'm not finna like your that word that you've given me about what I should and shouldn't do about a situation or something in my life that you have no experience in. It's not gonna mean nothing to me.
And I think in the same way, what's interesting is like we tell God, we want this to be done this way. Mm-hmm. God, I want you to do this with my life, and I want it to look like this. And God's like, you ain't never been there.
Yeah. So how you?
Yeah. You don't even know what you're talking. You're talking about a destination. You have no idea what it takes to get there. Yeah. You have no idea what needs to happen in order for you to be ready to maintain that place you're trying to go. Yeah. And most of the times it's what I see for you is bigger than what you're seeing.
Yeah. You believe in too small.
You believe in too small.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're believing what's big is you think what's big is bigger than really what it is, right? You think, oh, I go to a Power 5 school.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. You went to a Power 5 school and now school's over. Welcome to the workforce, right?
Yeah. Same deal.
But you went to North Carolina Central, which is not a Power 5 school, but the amount of lives you've impacted while you were at North Carolina Central, and not even just at North Carolina Central. The guys we were pouring into, women and men we were pouring into at Duke, at UNC, like because you went to North Carolina Central, your influence grew to a whole nother level. Your ability, your impact went to a whole nother level. Yeah. And you did all that just for some stats that people gonna forget about. But the things that you poured and the seeds you've planted in so many people, they'll remember for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Always gonna remember it. And I always say that. I'm like, bro, the impact that I was able to have outside of football, through college ministry, through just getting to know people, bro. Like, it's gonna last forever, bro. Life's gonna last forever, bro. Like, I'm like, for people, like you said, people gonna forget about stats. People gonna forget about, when you made that one catch or you had that touch. People gonna forget about
that Norfolk catch, though.
Yeah, Look,
I remember that, boy.
Man, shout out to Pee Wee, man. You know what I mean? No, but
2-point conversion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, rush the field, all that.
Double, triple overtime, man. But see, even stuff like that, bro. Like, people care about, like, you know, the big play on the big stage and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, like, I have no regrets for anything, bro. Like, my football career went exactly how it should have went. Yeah. Like, I had my last homecoming at the crib. I'm from Durham. Yeah. I'm playing my last final homecoming double overtime game. 2-point conversion catch. Just send me on out the door. Like, you can't beat that. You cannot beat that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I was able to experience something like that every athlete want to experience. And I also was like impacting lives, man. Like, dude,
the way the guys looked up to you, still do.
Yeah.
On the team. It was far beyond what you were able to do on the field, far beyond like playtime, it was just when you spoke, they listened, right? You were just an incredible leader.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is why saying, "Hey, bro, leave the college with you" was the easiest decision.
Yeah,
Dae, it was just like you, and yeah, man, I am like over the moon proud of who you've become and who you're becoming.
Yeah,
right. Like you're obviously your ladder is going to be so much greater than your former.
I see that,
but it's been an incredible gift to watch you grow and be and continue to impact. And I'm glad you're back here, man.
Bro, I'm happy to be back, man. It's always feel good to come back home, man. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. Bro, you know what we should do?
Talk to me.
We should one of these days, we gotta come back in. Let's just like tackle some like topics.
Let's do it.
What are your thoughts on like just tackling topics?
Bro, I'm with that. I actually have a lot to say about a lot of stuff, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man. Whether it's church life. I mean, we can, bro.
It's February. We can talk relationships.
Let's do it, bro.
You're single, like single, but not single. Okay, when I say single, as in not married, I don't know what the relationship status is.
Right, not married.
Not married.
Right.
I'm married.
Uh-huh.
I think we can bring two different perspectives. It's February. Let's like record an episode on like relationship stuff.
I'm with that.
How's that sound, Marseille?
Yeah.
Marseille gives a thumbs up. It sounds like a good time.
Right. I'm with that, bro. I am with that, bro.
All right. Listen. This is a great conversation.
No,
what do you think? Good conversation, guys?
I'm loving
this. This is phenomenal. All right. Listen. Family, like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions for myself or Dae, put some stuff in the comments, man. We want to hear from you. Listen, if you have any relationship questions, which means I have to like release this soon because like
it's February.
February now.
Look, what Valentine's Day next week we can have.
We'll figure this out, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? If it comes, whatever. Listen, we love y'all. Thank you. We love y'all. Thank you. We love y'all. Thank you. See you next time on the Speakeasy.
Sir.
All right.
Bye.